Glass Tiger's impact on Canada's music scene continues today, some 40 years later, and they're now being inducted into Canada's Walk of Fame, the first of two ceremonies. Joining us now to talk more about this and to announce it, something pretty remarkable. Alan Frew and Al Connolly from Glass Tiger. Gentlemen, good to have you both here this morning on CP24 Breakfast.
At that screen there, there's young Turks on.
When did you give up the beret? Yeah.
Oh, I've still got it somewhere, I think.
Okay, so let's talk about this. This is a kind of a remarkable event that's happening in connection with the Canada's Walk of Fame, Canada's Rock of Fame. You're part of this incredible induction ceremony that's going to feature so many bands. Tell us about what this is going to be like and how special it is to be involved in this.
Well, we were chatting. We could chat for hours. We were chatting in the green room. The cross-pollination, the friendships, you know, the history with these other bands. We were talking about the likes of Loverboy and Lighthouse. Max Webster,
which will be a big thing that night too, right?
No kidding, yeah.
Very creative bands over the years. But this is an era, right? We're talking about an era. We were latter in that era. You know?
Yeah, exactly. And let's talk, Al, because CanCon played such a big part in promoting Canadian music. I mean, you guys have been nominated for Grammys, right? I mean, and that era really, I think, brought Canadian music really, I think you can say, to where we are today. What's it like to be part of that? I mean, you're associated with bands that, like you said, are a little older than you are, but it's all, there's a connection, there's a thread that can be drawn and sewn through that.
Well, I think a lot of the music that came out of our era is, you know, has broadened, I guess you would say, music today. And what there's diversity in music now that wasn't there then, and that just comes with the way the world is.
I mean, you started as Tokyo back in 1981, right? Of course, Glass Tiger is what you became famous as. But in 1981, did you ever even project out to 2023 and think 40-some years later, you'd still be relevant, people would still recognize you, people would still want to hear your music? I mean, did that ever cross your mind?
Well, not at the time, but, you know, you realize now that this Walk of Fame is such a brilliant legacy, such an incredible way to honor Canadian talent. You know, it makes us think about all those journeys and all those tour buses and all those airplanes and all those concerts and the mileage and you know, this is going to be an induction like no other. This is going to be an extravaganza. This is going to be brilliant.
What's it like, Al, when you find out, hey, Glass Tiger, I mean, I walk by it all the time, but that is going to be on the Walk of Fame?
Oh, that's fantastic. We're thrilled about this. This is obviously, it's a big event. And of course, I think a lot of people should come down and see this go through, you know, on the 28th of September, see how it all works out and pans out. It's going to be a fun night.
No kidding. So what will you be able to do? Like, obviously, everyone's going to sort of play at some point here. How many songs? What's the breakdown?
This isn't a concert.
It's not a concert.
This is, I mean, there will be performances.
Yeah.
But there's going to be many other things. They're going to bring some amazing people back to the forefront. This building will play a small role in that.
Really? Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, the history in this building alone.
Much music, right here.
With these bands.
If you think about it back then, right? We were saying just a few minutes ago, like, digital era didn't even exist back then, right? So everything came down to probably this station.
Yeah.
Right? And what was going on and much music and all that was happening.
It's pretty amazing. And, you know, when I sit in here and I think about that, I mean, I grew up watching much music. And,
Do not say how old you were when Don't Forget Me.
I won't say it, but, you know, it was, I wasn't quite a teen. I was 12. I was 12 when Don't Forget Me When I'm Gone hit. And I mean, in that song, it just resonates. You saw Bill and I, we're around the same age, right? It's just a song that gets Canadians singing and moving. Everyone knows it. Everyone's heard it. Our producer was saying as we were, you know, lip syncing / singing, that it's like every Canadian wedding. You hear that song all the time. It's just one of those classics. To have written and to perform a song like that, I wonder, you know, that's up there in the sort of Canadian music, you know, lexicon.
Well, I'll tell you an incredible stat. Like, and just even last week, when we perform, I always ask the audience, regardless of the size, how many people have seen Glass Tiger before? And I'm telling you, only a small portion put their hands up. And then when I ask, how many of you saw us in 1986? It's even smaller yet. So again, it just shows you the scope of the 70s and 80s era. I've got a 19-year-old daughter, that's all she listens to is the 70s.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So again, kudos to the Walk of Fame for for recognizing this and bringing this all together.
It's definitely going to be epic. There's no doubt about that. And Al, I just want to say, I went through your website earlier, and the vault, right? All these amazing pictures of you guys from the sort of 80s, 90s. I mean, when you look back, you look like a sort of respectable adult right now. Not that you didn't look respectable then, but what is it like to look back at that evolution? Because as performers, there is a little more flair to sort of how you present yourself, right?
Well, again, we were talking about that. You go out, we went out live and saw bands. We didn't learn it off YouTube. Like, we saw bands, we said, this is how people entertain. We love that. And that's, you pick up things along the way. It becomes part of you. Even in your songwriting, there's something that you bring with you along the way.
For me,
you definitely develop and change.
I get through it because I see a goofy video of us, and then I realize that we were all goofy, so are the other bands, and we're all the same.
And that's so true, right? You look at like Platinum Blonde, for example, too, right? With the pants and the hair and everything like that as well. But I wonder, you mentioned your 19-year-old daughter listening to the 70s. What are you listening to today?
Well, I'm a bit an old fogey. I keep going backwards. I'm not the best one to talk about the new music. I get my solace from looking back. So I'll listen to anything from Frank Sinatra up to Led Zeppelin, up to the early Police and stuff like that.
What about you, Al?
Well, one week I go to see Jesse Cook, the next it's Disturbed and Theory of a Dead Man, and this is one of their t-shirts. Right, I go to shows a lot.
You got I mean, live music, there is nothing like it, and for people who've seen you guys perform live, there's nothing like that either. Alan and Al, thank you both for being here. Have a great time on September 28th. Sounds like an amazing event, and congratulations on the induction. Great to see you.
Tickets go on sale on Friday.
Friday indeed. Well, don't forget that, and don't forget them, and don't forget me when I'm gone.
Are you close?
Closer than we've ever been.
Contract agent or a lioness?
Lioness, sir.
Locate the wives and daughters of these high-value targets.
You made it! Told you I was coming.
And we place an operative close to them, and we kill the target.
If we play this right, it is over before it's begun.
Oh, so good. Special Ops Lioness is an upcoming spy thriller series based on a real-life program. It follows a rough-around-the-edges young Marine recruited to help bring down a terrorist organization from within. Now, playing this rough-around-the-edges recruit is our very own Canadian gal, Liza de Oliveira, who joins us this morning. The star is here, ladies and gentlemen. Your name is such a star name to begin with, Liza de Oliveira. The award goes to Liza de Oliveira. Like, I could say it a million times.
Thank you. I was named after the Madonna song, La Isla Bonita.
Oh my gosh, there you go. See, born as a star. No, but listen, anytime there is a moment to celebrate our Canadians, shining super bright like you are, we take that moment because this is amazing. We'll talk about the cast in the show, but how are you feeling right now being a part of this and just where your life has sort of now been? You've been acting for quite some time.
Yes, I'm on cloud 9. We just had a screening here in Toronto yesterday. I got to see it with my entire family, which was just so special. My mom was like holding my hand the entire time, and I was just really excited because my friends and the people I knew, they were all like, we forgot it was you.
Yeah.
And that, I think that's like the greatest compliment you could ask for as an actor. So I was just happy to be there.
Okay, so let's talk about this cast a little bit. We've got Zoe Saldana and Nicole Kidman, who are both executive producers, and they're in the show as well. We've got Morgan Freeman, like the iconic voice. We've got Taylor Sheridan, who's also attached to this. Like, when I say all these names for you, like, I mean, these are some Hollywood, like, heavy lifters, and you're a lead in this show. Like, what was that incredible experience like going head to head with these names?
It was such a dream come true. I feel like I got paid to take a master class, and I often say this job is the gift that kept on giving.
I mean, you did get paid. You did get paid for this job.
So, and I learned so much. I was such a fan of everybody going in, and I'm an even bigger fan now. It's been such an incredible journey. Zoe is so nurturing.
I love her.
She's the best. Yes, and Nicole, she's just so good and so tuned in. She just elevates her work. Taylor Sheridan is just a prolific writer, so to get to explore Cruise was incredible.
Let's talk also about the show itself. Like, I've had a chance to get a little sneak peek of it, and I was so annoyed I couldn't get the whole thing because I was like, I need to binge this right now.
You got to tune in.
I'm gonna have to tune in weekly. But you know, even just us seeing after the first episode, like this series is very intense. So tell us a little bit about the series for people who don't know what Special Op Lioness is.
It follows a CIA engagement team led by Zoe Saldana's character, who plays Jo.
Yeah.
Within the program, there is the Lioness program. Within this engagement team, she runs it with Nicole Kidman's character, who's a supervisor at the CIA, Caitlin. And the Lioness program is made of undercover operatives who get recruited to infiltrate terrorist groups and take them down from within. In the show, she recruits my character, the rough around the edges Marine, Cruz's escaping domestic violence. She wants to make something of her life, and she recruits her to be a lioness and takes her on an undercover mission.
Can we talk a little bit about how badass you are in this too?
Thank you.
Like the training, you are ripped in this show. Like you did those. I'm not going to give away, but there's a moment that you display your strength in the show.
Yes.
And you did that. Like, what was that training like for you?
It was crazy. Yeah.
Were you taking like cold baths and bruises?
Yeah. I train 3 hours a day, 5 days a week, an hour of weapons training, an hour of stunt training, and an hour of strength training leading up to the show at a Navy SEAL.
Pretty much that's unattainable for someone like me.
It's specific for the job, and I had a Navy SEAL training me, Jared Shaw. He was a Navy SEAL for 9 years, and he was great point of reference for any military questions I had as well, which was so great.
That is incredible. Well, you see it. You see the hard work in it. Oh my goodness. Liza de Oliveira, hey, congratulations
Thank you
again,
so much.
making us so proud. And the show, as we said, Special Op Lioness comes out July 23rd, and it's going to be released on a weekly basis. So trust me, Nick and Jen, you will be tuning in for this because it keeps you on the edge of your seat. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much.
Okay, you're listening to Canadian musician Dallas Smith singing in a beer, who's been recently added to a list of nominees for the 41st Annual Canadian Country Music Awards. I love singing in a beer.
Yeah, that sounds like your song, Nick.
Sounds like a song I would definitely hum along
For
to.
sure. So for more to help us count down the days of the big night in Canada's biggest night in country music, with another nominee category announcement, we are joined live in the studio this morning by Dallas Smith. Dallas, good morning to you.
Good morning to you as well.
So this is pretty exciting. You are performing at the Canadian Country Music Awards.
Yes.
I think I can say that you're also up for a nomination.
Yeah,
Did you know that as well?
something going on, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, you've been in the industry for a long time. You've won a gajillion awards and accolades, Juno nominated. I can't even, there's so much. What excites you about performing at the CCMAs?
There's very few opportunities that you have to perform on a national level in Canada. So it's just, CCMAs have really been great about providing that opportunity for country artists and getting our music across the country,
Yeah, absolutely. And so we're learning a lot this morning about what's going to be happening at the CCMAs this year. Also the fact that Sam Hunt is performing, which is a pretty big deal as well.
Yep, that should bring the female crowd, I think. Yeah. So it's always great to have a U.S. artist come down, an international artist come up and say hi and show what they can do up here as well.
What's the relationship like between the Canadian and Americans with country stars, yeah?
Great. I think as time goes on, especially over the last 5-6 years, I think American writers, artists, labels, everything is starting to really realize that how much great country music is coming out of Canada, and you're starting to see that happening right now, yeah. It's great.
And we've been seeing so much talent coming from Canada in terms of country music. I mean, you yourself, I think you're the first and only Canadian country music artist with 12 #1 singles. What's kind of your secret sauce to writing, a #1 single?
Honestly, it's just timing, and it's the team, and is the song going to speak to people, speak to fans at the right time of year. It just the stars have to align. Sometimes you really feel strongly about a song, it just doesn't, the mood of it or something doesn't match up with the mood somewhere. I don't know what it is, but then songs you wouldn't expect are just kind of fun songs. You wouldn't expect a lot of it.
Yeah, like singing in a beer.
Yeah.
What's that about?
Well, it's about bumping into a girl at the bar, and she's just having a good time. Really, that's honestly what it is. It's really just casual and
Another big Canadian act, Dallas, that's going to be hosting this year, the Rec Laws.
Yes.
We've had them on the show several times.
Great people.
Yeah, talk more about the Rec Laws here and the fact that they're hosting, because that's really significant.
It's great. Yeah, it's great to have Canadians hosting. I did that with Billy Ray Cyrus a couple years ago, which was fun.
Wow.
But it's great. They're great people. I had them on tour a couple years ago, and it's great to see them grow into the artists that they
nice
are at this
brother-sister
point.
duo, yeah.
It's very unique, so it's great to see them getting the looks that they're getting. They're great people.
And is there someone that you really look forward to see performing live at the CCMAs?
It's usually my friends.
Yeah.
Usually my friends. Yeah. I mean, I haven't looked exact who's performing, but I'm sure I got a couple buddies on there and some friends. So I'm looking forward to that. And not very often you get to see all of your friends in one space. You bump into them at festivals and stuff, but that's always the great time about the CCMAs. All getting together and celebrating each other's successes.
It's a huge night. And of course, speaking of successes, we've got to talk about some nominees, because you are here to actually announce the nominees in a particular category.
That's why I'm here.
CCMA. So let's hear what have you got for us?
Okay.
Okay, here are the nominees for Group or Duo of the Year. We got High Valley, the Hunter Brothers, James Barker Band, the Rec Laws, and Tim and the Glory Boys.
Nice.
That is an extremely strong category.
I was going to say, what about that category?
I
do you make of it?
I don't even know. I don't even know
have
who.
a prediction?
Nope. I could say I want to see any one of the five could
Wow.
win. Really, that's a tough.
That
category.
really speaks to the depth of Canadian country music, then, that you've got 5 solid groups or duos in there that easily could, no one that night would go, well, they didn't really deserve it. Right?
Yeah, that's great. It's great to see just the health of the music that's coming out, and that really shows those names for sure.
Oh my gosh, wow. Well, it's very good to hear that, it's not competitive, that, you
No,
just
it's
talk about...
competitive. No,
Is
it's
it competitive?
it's super competitive, but in a friendly way for the most part.
Okay,
oh
in a
yeah.
friendly way.
Well, it's good. You want to push each other, right? You want to high five each other, and even if somebody else wins, you're going to have somebody else high-fiving you because of the successes that you've had too. So
of course,
it's pretty good.
Okay,
for the
and
most
Dallas,
part.
very quickly,
Yep.
you've got a big summer coming up with tour dates.
Yes.
What's next for you?
I'm playing London tonight with my old band Default at Rocky Park. We're playing Key to Ballad tomorrow night with my old band, and then just like Big Valley Jamboree, Boots and Hearts, kind of popping all over the place. Yeah.
Amazing. I love Key to Ballad. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, Dallas Smith, great to meet you this morning. Thanks for coming in and announcing that category.
Thanks for having me.
And good luck at the CCMAs and beyond.
Yeah.
Indeed.
The Toronto Caribbean Carnival officially launched earlier this week, signaling that the countdown is on to the spectacular Grand Parade on Saturday, August 5th. There is so much going on, folks, and you can still learn some amazing dance moves, whether you're playing mass or you're just watching. So today we have, from Soca Size Fitness, along with a few masqueraders from Fantasia Carnival, joining me, Ayana Lee Riveras. Now, Ayana, I'm already sweating, girl. I am already sweating. Look how incredible these dancers look.
I know.
First
You look
of all,
beautiful.
Well, thank you. I'm going to have to hang on to this thing, though, because it wants to go somewhere else. Ayana, tell me a little bit about what Soca Size is first.
Well, Soca Size is a creative blend of Caribbean and African dance
I love that
techniques
she's still so committed to
combined with fitness moves. So right now I'm going to show you some moves that we would do for the parade. Are you ready?
Yes.
You got to hold on to your
these
head.
are the actual moves.
These are the moves that you would do for the parade. Have them up a line, and then you got to take a line. That's it. We're going to repeat that again. Are you ready?
Yes, yes, yes.
Oh, where's your rag? Oh, gosh, you got to do everything here.
She's making me do everything.
Jump, and then wave, and then whine. That's it.
Oh my
Now we're just
goodness.
gonna wave. Hold on to your headpiece.
Okay.
Let's go, let's go. And wave, 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 wave. That's it.
Woo!
You're masquerading.
I love that we're already doing this.
Now,
Okay.
you gotta do a whine. There's so many different types of whine. There's different variations.
We have no problem whining.
You have no problem.
Friday,
now, can you wind down to the ground?
Whoa. Oh, to
can
the
you
ground.
wind down low?
Woo!
This is all that we do on the road.
Oh, my
We're
thighs.
celebrating our culture. Let's go.
My
you gotta
thighs.
jump again. You gotta keep up that energy. That's what Soca Size is for.
A lot of
Wave,
workout.
wave, wave.
Okay, can you just tell me
And
how
whine.
this is possible when they're wearing all these incredible costumes? Can we actually talk about the costumes really quickly?
Absolutely.
For anyone who still wants to be a part of it, is it too late to get costumes?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. There's so many bands that have costumes available. You just gotta look and find them. Go online, just search Toronto Caribbean Carnival costumes available.
And now behind us, we've got the Fantasia.
Yes.
Now, what is their theme this year? It's absolutely stunning.
What is your theme this year?
What is your guys' theme this year?
Oddies and Itties. There we go.
Oh my goodness,
Come on
Oddies
up
and
and
Itties.
parade.
I
Let's see those costumes.
absolutely
Let's see those beautiful costumes.
Look-
Wave,
Look
wave.
at these incredible
That's
costumes.
it. Beautiful costumes.
So let's break down the moves one more time.
Okay.
For anyone who's not playing mask,
Yes.
but they want to still feel like they're part of it.
So this is what you do. You would chip. This is one of the moves.
Okay.
This is just a chip. So you're chipping behind the truck.
Chipping
Getting
behind
ready
the truck.
to
Okay.
cross the stage. Okay?
Oh, right.
Right.
So there's certain moves that are people actually looking for.
Well, they're looking for energy. They're looking for vibrance.
We love
We're going to
energy.
show them now. Are you ready?
Yes.
You ready? Let's go. We're going to jump. We're going to jump. And jump. Wave, wave. Wide, wide. That's it. Oh. 3. We're going to repeat that again. 2.
I know this now.
Let's go. Jump, jump,
Oh my God,
jump,
I'm so
jump.
tired.
And wave. And wide.
The wine I have no
That's
problem
it.
doing.
Now we're all getting ready to cross the stage.
We're getting ready to
Now
cross
we're
the
gonna
stage, oh my
wave,
goodness.
wave, and just move around, cross the stage.
Where
That's
am I
it. That's it. Very nice. And then you can even whine on each other like this, because you're celebrating. You're celebrating.
We are celebrating August 6th. The parade kicks off. Make sure you get a chance to check it out.
Richard Krause is the Ethan Hunt of film critics, and his mission this week is, which he chose to accept, is to review Tom Cruise's new film. He joins us live now. Hi, Richard.
Hey, how are you?
Richard, I know you do your own stunt, so let's talk about this. You know, coming back to theaters, one of Hollywood's biggest heartthrobs, Tom Cruise, Mission Impossible, Dead Reckoning Part 1.
Yeah, so we're going to have to wait another year or so for Dead Reckoning Part 2. But this movie doesn't feel like a cliffhanger. It tells you enough of the story. It gives you enough satisfaction so that you don't just feel like you're left dangling by the time the end credits roll, which is a good thing. Between the beginning and end, I'll tell you, this is an action movie that is about as state-of-the-art as it gets. And by state-of-the-art, I mean there's no green screen work here. There's no cinematography trickery. Well, maybe a little bit. But this is Tom Cruise doing his own stunts. This is Tom Cruise driving a motorcycle off a cliff and, you know, hanging on for dear life as a train disintegrates around him and driving a tiny little car through the streets of Rome. And each of these action sequences feels like there are actual stakes involved because simply you really see it happening in front of you. It doesn't feel computer generated like so many other action movies that we watch today. And that really gives this movie a whole lot of punch. See it as big and as loud as you can. It's on IMAX screens. If you're lucky enough to live near one, go see it and prepare to be wowed by the action.
Nice.
Yeah, Tom Cruise is really, proving to be the man of the big screens with, Maverick, Top Gun, and now this.
Exactly.
So, okay. Next up, Richard, a movie that focuses on the story of 3 generations of close friends in Dublin who have one tantalizing dream that put them out on a long journey to get there.
Yeah, they are 2 sets of friends. There is a daughter played by Laura Linney who comes back to Ireland after 40 years. She left under a cloud and has never looked back. When her mother dies, she goes back to this small town just outside of Dublin and reunites with her mother's best friends, played by Kathy Bates and Maggie Smith, who have just won a trip to go to Lourdes and bathe in the healing waters of Lourdes and hope for a miracle. There's a lot of bad blood between them, but over the course of the film, they try and figure out the relationships. And there's nothing really particularly miraculous about the Miracle Club, except for the performances of Kathy Bates, Maggie Smith, and Laura Linney that really bring this to life. Their characters on the page felt to me like kind of stereotypes, and then you see these great actors really breathe life into them, and it goes a long way to making this movie as good as it is and have as much uplift as it does, which is really all it's trying to do, is make you feel better on the way out than you did on the way in.
Yeah, some incredible talent in that one there. Okay, so we've started talking about Mission Impossible, Richard, but let's talk about, is this mission possible or impossible? And that, of course, is finding a deal between not only the actors but the screenwriters in Hollywood, this historic simultaneous strike, first time in 60 years, and what kind of an impact this could have north of the border, because we think of us as Hollywood North. Are we going to see an impact on local filmmaking?
We will eventually. Now, not every film that is made here, even with SAG actors in it, the Screen Actors Guild actors or AFTRA actors in it, falls under the group of producers, the studios and the streamers that are being striked against by SAG and AFTRA and the Writers Guild. So it is very definitely going to slow down here. There are some trickle downs. It'll be interesting to see what happens with TIFF, because the actors are not allowed to go out and promote movies right now, because as of last night at midnight, they're on strike. So that'll be an interesting thing to see what happens with TIFF. On the upside, though, there have been some pickups by American networks of Canadian shows, because if you have a show like Son of a Critch or Run the Burbs that has a couple of seasons behind it, you can pick that up and hopefully it'll be popular in the U.S. as well. So it's a mixed bag, and things are unfolding minute by minute with the story, but this strike is not going to go away anytime soon.
Okay, interesting thoughts there. Richard Krause, film critic, thanks for your movie recommendations and chiming in on this major issue in Hollywood. Appreciate it.
Great to chat, Richard. Thanks. Have a good weekend.
Talk to you soon.